Hi guys, welcome back to the Rideshare Hub. My name is Crystal, and today I'm going to talk about another week of my earnings. But before I get into this video, please give it a thumbs up, and that will help us out so much. Also, feel free to subscribe to the channel to receive more videos on Uber and Lyft. Now, let's get into my week of earnings. So on this particular week, I drove for 21 and a half hours and it averaged out to about $19 an hour. It really just depends on how much I drive and where I'm driving. So I came up with tips for you guys to earn that much. So things to know before I get into the tips though is I drive mostly in Los Angeles. Okay, Los Angeles is a great city to work. It's a great city to drive for Uber and Lyft. And then also, I only work part-time. So I work anywhere from 20 to like 35 hours a week. And I know 35 is more on the full-time range, but compared to some drivers that are working like 60-hour work weeks, that's nothing. So that's more like part-time. However, this is a great job to work part-time or full-time. So anyway, let me get into the tips so you guys could be earning $20 an hour like me. Okay, so tip number 1, start early. Start early, like around 7:30 in the morning, so you can catch the surges and the peak time, and get everybody while they're going to work. And also, I feel like passengers really appreciate when drivers are out on the road early and they're like working just as hard as they are. Even though they're going to their office job, they just like appreciate that the driver isn't sleeping in till noon and they're up early and trying to make that dollar. So yes, start early. And also, sometimes it can be hard to get yourself out of your house to like go and drive. Just go get it done in the morning and make your first like $50. Once you make that first 50, then you're a little more motivated to like go out and drive some more and earn more money. So there you have it. Start early. Tip number 2, have water and snacks in your car for yourself. You can have like snacks and water for your passengers too. I know some drivers do that or they're really accommodating, but I mean, you're not going to get paid for that. So they may tip you, but they might not tip you either. So I'm saying have water and snacks for yourself because you're going to be driving hours at a time and you'll get hungry. So I know I get hungry like every few hours. So it's kind of inconvenient to stop and get something to eat because in LA you got to think about parking, you got to think about the wait time of getting your food, and then you got to eat. So by that time maybe like 30 or 40 minutes already passed by when you could have earned that 15 or 20 bucks in that hour. So just have snacks and water for yourself in your car ready to go until your next meal. Okay, and number 3, this is obvious, be nice. Treat this as if you're working in customer service. So when a passenger gets into your car, say hi, how are you doing? When they leave, say have a great day. Just be nice to people. Tip number 4, if you want to earn like a 20-hour... Okay, so tip number 4, I put drive for at least 4 hours a day. So for me, I usually drive Monday through Friday and I do like 4 to 5 hours. So for you, I would say drive at least 4 hours to get that well-rounded hourly rate of like $18 to $20 an hour if you're in Los Angeles. If you're in a different city, I can't really tell you how much you're going to be making. I'm just saying like you won't start seeing like a consistency in your rate until you start driving consistently. So a tip would be drive 4 hours a day. So a tip would be drive 4 hours a day. Tip number 5, fill up your tank. It's such a hassle to pull over and fill up your tank too when you're already in the motion of like picking up people and dropping them off and all that stuff, and then all of a sudden you're losing gas and you're like, have to find a gas station. So just in the morning or at night when you're done driving, ready to go home, fill up your tank so you don't have to stop your work hours to go do that. It's just more helpful too. And sometimes, like in Los Angeles, you don't know where you're gonna stop. So if you're stopping in West Hollywood or Santa Monica, you might be paying $5 a gallon when you live in an area where your gas is like $3.89. So just be like aware of that and be prepared. Fill up your tank at the beginning of your shifts. Okay, tip number 6. Music is better than no music. So if you're unsure, if you're one of those people that you're just like self-conscious about people judging your music choice, or you don't know what you should be playing for your passengers, just stick with like classical music or the radio. But it can be a little awkward if you just don't have any music at all. Like, I know when I get into a Lyft and there's no music, I'm just like, oh, can I breathe? Am I breathing too hard or what? Like, just have some background noise. It would help. Tip number 7, offer to help your passengers with luggage. So if you're picking them up, they have luggage, or you're dropping them off somewhere and they have luggage or whatever, offer to help. It's just a nice thing to do. So you can just ask them like, hey, would you like help with your luggage? Most of the time they'll say no. But sometimes if it's a woman, they'll be like, oh yeah, can you help me? But I mean, like, I know I'm a woman too, and I'm like thin and stuff, but I'm still strong. I can help people with things, but I don't know, there's really no point in saying that, but just offer to help. If it's a man, I mean, sometimes I won't ask, obviously they got it handled, but it's just a nice thing to do. Ask your passengers if they need help with their luggage. Tip number 8, watch for the peak times and like surging times in your city. So in Los Angeles, the peak and surging times in my city are in Santa Monica and West Hollywood. And that would be like 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. And then again, like after work hours from like maybe 4:30 to 6:30. And then other times too, if there are events in the area that can cause a surge, just look out for that, because it's helpful to drive in those areas, or it's helpful to drive in those areas because you'll make more money doing the same thing you just usually do. Tip number 9, if you are a creative like me, you can kind of create a little portfolio to put on the back, in the back seat, like behind the chair. If you're a creative like me, it may be helpful to create a little portfolio or something of your work to put on the back seat of your vehicle for passengers to look at. So I actually got this tip from a friend who had a friend who drove for Uber and Lyft, and he did that with his photography work, and he actually got booked for stuff like that. So I started carrying around this thing, and this is from a bridal event. I did this bride's makeup, and so this is a conversation starter because some passengers will look at it and they'll be like, oh, like, are you a makeup artist? Or like, they'll ask stuff about it, you know, and so I could talk about myself, like, I'm a makeup artist, I do this, I did that bride's makeup, and then they're just like, it's a conversation starter. So just think about that. I haven't gotten any bookings from it, but it's just nice to have. Okay, and then tip number 10 I have for you, keep your car clean. So it would be nice to have your car washed like every single week, but I know that can add up, be expensive, and sometimes it can be a hassle to find a place to wash your car. Like in LA, I like just going through the cruise through car washes, but sometimes they're just so far and it's gonna take like 30 minutes to get there. Like, I don't want to do that. So I at least keep the inside of my car clean. So I vacuum it and I wipe everything down and keep it clean. Passengers really appreciate that. So those are all my tips for you. Thank you for watching. Once again, my name is Crystal, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel to receive more videos on Uber and Lyft, and I will see you guys next time. Have a great day.